Have you ever wondered if something as simple as your daily routine could be slowly harming your brain, without you even realizing it? Most of us go about our day doing things we assume are harmless, even productive. But what if I told you that 3 common habits, ones many seniors repeat every single day, might be quietly damaging memory, focus, and long-term brain health? Hello and welcome back to Senior Health, the channel where we decode the science of aging well, one smart choice at a time. Today's video is especially important because we're diving into 3 habits that could be undermining your brain health after 60, even if you feel perfectly fine today. If you're over 60, or care about someone who is, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Let's start with the first habit, chronic multitasking. Now, you might be thinking, isn't multitasking a good thing? Doesn't it mean I'm staying active and efficient? Actually, research shows the opposite, especially for aging brains. Dr. Adam Gazzaley, a neuroscientist at the University of California, San Francisco, has spent years studying how the brain processes multiple streams of information. His findings? When we multitask repeatedly, especially on digital devices, it taxes the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for decision-making, attention, and memory. For seniors, the effect is more pronounced. Unlike younger adults who can recover faster from mental overload, the older brain becomes more susceptible to what experts call cognitive fatigue. Imagine trying to read an article, respond to a text, and watch the news at the same time. You may feel busy, but your brain is actually working overtime to shift attention, which leads to more mistakes, shallower thinking, and weakened memory formation over time. What's even more concerning? Chronic multitasking has been linked to a measurable reduction in gray matter density in the brain, especially in regions associated with empathy and self-control. This may help explain why, in older adults, multitasking can contribute to mental exhaustion and a sense of feeling foggy or mentally scattered. So if you've ever walked into a room and forgotten why you're there, or struggled to remember someone's name right after hearing it, ask yourself, am I truly focusing on one thing at a time? Now let's talk about the second habit, consuming processed foods high in sugar and additives. This one is especially sneaky because it often hides in plain sight. Breakfast cereals, packaged snacks, sweetened yogurts, even so-called healthy granola bars can be loaded with refined sugar, artificial flavors, and chemical preservatives. While these might make meals convenient, they're doing something far more dangerous under the surface, fueling chronic inflammation in the brain. According to a study published in Neurology, seniors with higher blood sugar levels, even within the normal range, showed more rapid cognitive decline than those with lower glucose levels. And that's not just in people with diabetes. Researchers from the University of Bath found that spikes in blood sugar can actually shrink the hippocampus, the part of your brain that controls memory. Then there's the issue of trans fats and monosodium glutamate, MSG, 2 common ingredients in processed foods. These compounds have been shown to disrupt neurotransmitters, interfere with mood, and reduce the brain's ability to repair itself. In the long term, this can lead to what neurologists call neuroinflammation, a silent process that's now strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Dr. Lisa Mosconi, director of the Alzheimer's Prevention Clinic at Weill Cornell Medical College, says it's simply, what we eat today becomes our brain tomorrow. For seniors, that means every snack or meal choice has long-term consequences. So the next time you reach for a quick packaged bite, take a pause and ask, is this feeding my brain or fueling its decline? The third everyday habit that could be quietly harming your brain? Neglecting social interaction. It may surprise you to learn that loneliness isn't just an emotional issue, it's a biological one. In fact, former U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy has described loneliness as an epidemic, with risks to long-term health comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But what does that have to do with brain health? According to the National Institute on Aging, older adults who experience chronic loneliness are at a significantly higher risk of developing dementia, even if they have no other risk factors. Because the brain is a social organ. It thrives on meaningful connection, conversation, and community. When we isolate ourselves, whether intentionally or by circumstance, We deprive the brain of the stimulation it needs to stay active, resilient, and emotionally balanced. Neuroscientist Dr. John Cacioppo from the University of Chicago found that loneliness actually changes the brain's structure and chemistry. It increases cortisol, the stress hormone, which over time damages the hippocampus, the memory center of the brain. It also weakens neural connections that are vital for learning, emotional regulation, and problem-solving. And the danger doesn't come only from total isolation. Even seniors who live with family but lack deep social engagement, meaningful conversations, shared laughter, or mutual support can experience the same cognitive risks. The good news? Social interaction is one of the most powerful brain boosters, and it doesn't take much. A daily phone call, a walk with a neighbor, or joining a hobby group can make a real difference. So ask yourself, when was the last time you had a truly engaging conversation? Your brain might be craving it more than you think. Now that we've covered the 3 everyday habits, chronic multitasking, processed food consumption, and social neglect, you might be wondering, what's the real risk if I keep doing these things? Here's the truth. None of these habits may seem catastrophic on their own. But over time, they form what scientists call a cognitive burden, a slow, compounding wear and tear on your brain's ability to adapt, recover, and stay sharp. Think of it like a leak in the roof. A single drop doesn't seem serious. But if left unchecked, day after day, it quietly damages the structure of the house. In the same way, these habits create microstressors on the brain, eroding memory, dulling focus, and increasing vulnerability to age-related cognitive decline. Studies from the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School confirm that these kinds of low-grade stressors have a cumulative effect. They increase oxidative stress, interfere with sleep cycles, reduce neuroplasticity, and even shrink brain volume in key areas responsible for memory and executive function. What's most concerning is how subtle the damage can be. You might chalk up forgetfulness to just getting older. You might feel a little mentally foggy and assume it's normal. But these signs could be the first whisper of cognitive decline, and by the time they become obvious, reversal is much harder. The encouraging part? Once you recognize these habits, you can begin to shift them, and your brain will respond faster than you think. The brain is adaptable even after 60, but it needs your help to do the right kind of rewiring. Now let's talk solutions, because awareness is only the first step. The good news is that each of these harmful habits has a powerful, brain-friendly alternative. You don't need a complete life overhaul. You just need small, consistent changes that give your brain the environment it needs to thrive. Let's start with multitasking. Instead of juggling 3 things at once, practice single tasking. Block off short, focused periods, just 20 to 30 minutes, to do one task with full attention. Neuroscientist Dr. Daniel Levitin calls this the focus rhythm and explains that deep focus actually restores the brain's processing ability. Try keeping your phone in another room while reading or preparing a meal. These moments of full presence aren't just calming, they help rebuild cognitive endurance. Next, food. Swap processed snacks for whole, brain-boosting foods. Think blueberries, leafy greens, walnuts, salmon, turmeric, and green tea. These are rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and anti-inflammatory compounds. Dr. Lisa Mosconi, whom we mentioned earlier, emphasizes the Mediterranean-style diet as one of the most protective for the aging brain. Even a small change, like switching sugary cereal for oatmeal with berries, can help stabilize blood sugar and support memory. And finally, social engagement. Make it intentional. Schedule weekly calls with friends. Join a local walking club. Volunteer. If mobility or distance is a barrier, consider virtual communities or discussion groups, many designed specifically for seniors. Research shows that even 10 minutes of meaningful interaction per day can significantly reduce cortisol and improve cognitive resilience. The goal isn't quantity, it's quality. These swaps don't demand perfection. They just require that you start. One mindful habit at a time, you can shift your brain's future. So, where does this leave us? The truth is, your brain, just like your body, thrives when given the right care. And while it's easy to overlook small habits, the science is clear. What you do every day matters far more than what you do once in a while. You've now learned that chronic multitasking can wear down your brain's memory systems, that processed foods and hidden sugars can quietly inflame your mind, and that silence, in the absence of meaningful connection, can be far more harmful than we think. But here's the empowering part: you're not stuck with these patterns. Your brain has a remarkable ability to heal, adapt, and grow. Yes, even after 60. With a few intentional shifts, you can support clarity, memory, and focus for years to come. So take this as your reminder that it's never too late. Every time you choose presence over distraction, real food over convenience, or connection over isolation, you're building a brain that's more resilient, more alive, and more you. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on Senior Health. If you found this video helpful, or if someone you love could benefit from it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. There's more empowering content ahead, and we'd love to have you with us on this journey.